Welcome back to TeaHouse Dives. What if I told you the biggest scam in the apartment job isn't the gambling den, isn't the fake wedding, isn't even the apartment complex? It's the idea that anyone in this world is actually who they claim to be. At first glance, the apartment job seems like just another funny crime comedy with a fake marriage thrown in. But in this episode, it quietly introduces something much more interesting. A world where every institution, every profession, every relationship is performing a role. So before you decide whether the apartment job deserves a place on your watch list, let's pour our first cup together. So, who is the apartment job actually for? Let me give you a vibe check. This is for you if you like stories where corruption and money take center stage, and romance is just a side dish. It's not the main course yet. It's for viewers who love it when ordinary, boring places like an apartment complex or a local office are secretly hiding massive, dangerous power. If you enjoy a morally gray protagonist, someone who isn't a pure hero, but someone who uses brains and financial tricks to survive, this is your drama. And most importantly, this is for mystery lovers. If you're patient enough for a slow burn that builds its world layer by layer, rather than rushing to the finish line, keep watching. And finally, if you need your characters to be strictly good guy versus bad guy, this might frustrate you. Everyone here exists in a moral gray zone. What surprised me most about this episode is that this isn't really a story about gambling. It's not even about apartment politics. It's about systems. Even institutions we encounter, from the law office to the police to the apartment management office, looks legitimate on the surface. But underneath, each one is built on transactions, leverage, and survival. That's what hooked me in this drama. Not the fake wedding, not the corruption, the realization that everyone is navigating the same broken system just from different sides. This drama isn't just about a job, it's about the masks people wear to survive, and I mean everyone. Take the male lead on the surface. He wears a sharp suit, he works at a nice office, looks like he belongs in a boardroom. But in reality, he's running a gambling operation. His entire professional look is a disguise. Then look at the female lead. She's performing on three different stages at once. She pretends to be a lawyer, she pretends to be a mother, and she pretends to be a bride. Which one is the real her? Episode 1 doesn't tell us yet, and that's the whole point. But it doesn't stop with people. Look at the spaces. The apartment office looks like it's just there for community management. They're fixing leaks, collecting fees, but behind the counter, it becomes a money making machine. The law office looks charitable, like they're helping the underdog, but they're actually funneling clients for profit. And the government? It looks respectable on paper, but in this world, it operates more like a private club for the powerful. So here's what episode 1 is asking us over and over again. If everyone is wearing a mask, then who can actually be trusted? And the more I watch this episode, the more I realize something. Nobody's pretending because they enjoy deception. They're pretending because the system rewards performance. In most crime shows, power comes from violence, a gun, a fist, a threat. But in the apartment job, power comes from something much quieter, information. Watch closely and you'll see it everywhere. The male lead doesn't punch people to win, he studies them. His clients, their habits, their weaknesses, their secrets. The apartment managers don't use force. They study the resident, who pays late, who has something to hide, who can be squeezed. The police, they don't raid buildings blindly. They study the businessmen. They build files. They wait. And that's the key word, files. Everyone in this world has files. Everyone has leverage, a photograph, a bank record, a conversation overheard. In this drama, money isn't just cash. Money is information. And information, that's the only real power there is. Even the male lead's gambling business doesn't succeed because he's violent. It succeeds because he knows exactly who can repay debt, who owns property, who has hidden assets, and who can be pressured. So this episode leaves us with a good question. If everyone is collecting secrets, then who is watching you? Now, let's talk about my favorite scene in episode 1. And honestly, it's not a chase, it's not a fight, it's not even a confrontation. It's a man holding an umbrella. At first glance, it's just rain. The male lead is getting wet. Park Young Man walks over and covers him. Simple, right? But if you watch closely, the umbrella isn't simply keeping him dry, it's protection. And here's why that matters. Hae-kang's biological father abandoned him, walked away, left him in the rain. Then Park Young-man enters the scene. He doesn't just give Hae-kang an umbrella. He steps into the rain with him. He carries a shelter to him. And here's the most beautiful part of it. Park Young-man doesn't pretend to be his father. He says exactly that. I can't replace your father. No lies, no empty promises. Instead, he says this: I'll help you rebuild your dream. He offers purpose, not pity, but purpose. Now, fast forward 20 years. Hae-kang is grown. He's in the underworld. He's surrounded by criminals and corruption. But here's one question that episode 1 is leaving us with as well. Is the male lead protecting a criminal, or is he protecting the man who protected him? 20 years ago, Park Young-man gave Hae-kang an umbrella. Today, he is returning the favor. That changes everything. Because suddenly, this isn't a story about crime. It's a story about loyalty, about debt, about a boy who was abandoned and the man who chose to stay. This drama keeps asking us one uncomfortable question. What makes someone family? Is it blood or is it loyalty? Look at Hae-kang. His biological father doesn't protect him. He doesn't raise him. He sells him. Blood gives him nothing but betrayal. Now look at Park Young-man. He's a criminal. He runs gambling operations. By society standards, he's a bad man. But he's the one who steps into the rain with an umbrella. He's the one that says, I'll help you rebuild your dream. He's the one that raises him. So who is the real father here? The one who shares his blood or the one who shares his shelter? And it doesn't stop with them. Look at the employees. They were offered severance. They could walk away. They could take the money and disappear, but they don't. They choose loyalty. They stay. And then there's the wedding, the fake wedding. Everyone is performing. Everyone is playing a role. It's supposed to be a lie. But here is what I find interesting. Ironically, it becomes the most genuine celebration in the entire episode. Strangers come together, they laugh, they celebrate, they protect each other. So, episode 1 leaves us with another question. If blood can betray you and strangers can protect you, then what does family really mean? So, after one episode, here's what I realized. The apartment job isn't asking me whether I like these characters. It's asking me whether I understand the systems they've been forced to survive inside. And remember the question we started with? The biggest scam wasn't the gambling den. It wasn't the fake wedding. It wasn't even the apartment complex. It was believing that anyone in this world is exactly who they claim to be. And after one episode, I'm not convinced we've met a single person without a mask. And honestly, that's exactly the kind of story TeaHouse Dives was created to explore. So if you're looking for another fluffy romance, this probably isn't your next drama. But if you enjoy peeling back the layers beneath seemingly ordinary worlds, I think The Apartment Job might surprise you. And I can't wait to see where episode 2 takes us. I'll see you in the next dive.